Or contain it. Breathing.
Three, 4. We're 4 years old, guys.
6. Show the whole candles in the box. Hey!
I'm gonna take a picture of y'all.
Of us blowing the fake candles out?
Yeah. I'm gonna send that to you.
Did you want to film us opening it?
Or do you want to, like, you want me to record a video?
Yeah, sure.
Oh god, it's so far everywhere. Oh god. Oh,
Okay, can I share a story? Yeah. You know how I was texting my who likes Squirtle, who likes Pikachu, right?
hi.
And you said Pikachu, and I was like, freak! I didn't get the Pikachu plushie.
Oh, nice! I have millions of Pikachus to color. Wow. I have millions of Pikachus to color. Yeah. Hey, guys! I'm gonna get this all over the cake icing. Oh, happy period. We got it's a little frame photo.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Oh my god! Did you pick these up all the way in Greensboro?
No, and
the pictures.
the pictures that I was talking about.
Aww. Oh god, love that. Thank you.
Of course, y'all.
Appreciate it.
Of course.
Here again. Oh shit.
The toilet paper. Cake. Let's sing happy birthday.
Yeah.
Ready? 1,
2, 3. Happy birthday to you guys. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to us.
Now there's holes in the cake.
Yep. Tripophobia.
Where?
Cut the cake.
My perceptual depth is booty, so this might be butt. Cake.
Please don't bust this shit. I'm scared.
But you gotta move your butt closer, girl.
Real big. The whole cake. Oh, look, there's caramel vanilla.
From that necklace right here.
Right there, it's really sparkling.
So random clip, but William got a new medical bed. It's a lot better than his old bed, but it's just plain right now because he doesn't have all its mats on it.
I just transferred all of them over here, so I'm just sitting.
And we're going to be transferring Doc into the bed to see how tall she is to it. Here we go. Hold it. Yeah, move stuff out the way. Oh.
Look at that. What the?
We're going to transfer William on the bed now. Oh. Mat. 2 mat. 2 other mats. Oh, look. Alright. And lift. There you go. Oh, what the fuck's in there? She's feeling like a fairy. Oh.
Oh my
God.
god.
The big size difference. Bro.
Oh shit.
But that's the new transfer in the bed.
a very big minute since we filmed, but we have a lot, and I mean a lot, of updates for you all. So, I'm going to be sitting behind the camera and talk about Doc. There has been a lot of stuff going on this weekly vlog that we just haven't openly discussed until now. Not because it's anything bad. Honestly, it's a lot of good changes and a lot of good shifts for Doc. If you're seeing this video clip now, it is August 8th. And anything before this that we necessarily haven't discussed won't be mentioned in the other daily updates that were filmed before this. August 3rd, Monday, we give y'all backstory. So basically, Doc has a gastrostomy tube, a G tube, and it's a PEG. She's been having this since June 20th of 2025, and if you look closely on her nose, she has a nasogastric feeding tube, an NG tube. She's been having that nasogastric feeding tube since July 2nd of 2023. That's her gastrostomy tube on her lap, and that is her nasogastric feeding tube. Because she has both of them, and because she has a Cape Farms feed, usually 12 ounces of feed per bolus feed that we give her. A bolus feed is just basically a syringe attached to it, and you just pump the feed through her PEG, and it goes into her stomach. But because we've been noticing a few more issues of that, and when she had the duo combination of nasal and PEG, she would get nauseous a lot more often. She was getting nauseous almost not after every feed. I think it was a 1 p.m. bolus feed with her boost shake. Back then, she would get nauseous often after it and almost throw up. And if you know Doc, aspiration is a big concern and it is a big worry. So we do not want her aspirating or the potential chance of her throwing up. A gastrostomy tube is basically a button or a feeding tube that goes directly into the stomach. The feed will go into the stomach. Stomach, esophagus, and then the mouth. If something happens and Doc begins to vomit, she has a very high strong chance of just throwing up all that formula she just had. During any shaking, during harsh movement or anything, she can throw up. And the worst part is Doc has severe gastroparesis, meaning her stomach is either very much paralyzed or does not empty as fast as a regular stomach. So if you eat, your stomach begins to empty the food in the digestive tract. Doc's does not do that very well, and it's very slow. Because of this issue, it has a very strong chance of sitting and fermenting in her stomach longer than it's way supposed to. So that fermenting can come back up and she can vomit it up. And that has a very strong chance of her throwing it up and then aspirating on it by micro droplets of vomit entering her lungs, which is not good. And it can very quickly lead to aspiration pneumonia. Unfortunately, a G tube and a nasogastric feeding tube has a very high prominence of that happening. And Monday we had the call with her GI coordinator and nurses to talk about switching or to request a GJ feeding tube. So a gastrostomy jejunum feeding tube or a gastric jejunum feeding tube is basically the different spot in where the gastrostomy tube leads to. I think it is placed around the stomach area, but the end that goes actually supposed to go in your stomach is longer and actually leads to the jejunum bit of her small intestine. So it's still a great option, and this lowers the risk of aspiration and vomiting tremendously. Because it bypasses the stomach and goes into the jejunum, all the feeding formula is going into your jejunum, and that's nowhere near connected to the stomach. It doesn't have that gastric content to it that can just lead up and then she can throw it up. She hardly can throw up. The number of times she throws up and her gastroparesis will be completely avoided, which is the best news. On Monday, August 3rd, we made the call to her GI doctor and coordinator. We were talking about switching or to request to switch to a GJ tube and potentially remove her nasal tube. August 4th, Tuesday, we had a telehealth appointment with her GI doctor via video call. We were just basically discussing her current regimen of her bolus feeds, her nasal tube, her G tube, and talking about the switch to a new GJ tube. So August 7th, 2026, Friday. So the hospital scheduling coordinator called me that day on August 7th. So the great thing is, here's the big news, it got approved and that she can freaking get it, which is great. They were just calling me to set the date and to schedule a date, or her PEG G tube is going to be switched out with a PEG GJ tube. So basically, a PEG is not a button tube. It's not like something that can be easily concealed. It's a very long tube that just kind of dangles so you can administer things. August 18th, 2026, she'll be admitted and she'll have her GJ tube. So obviously that's not this week, but thankfully we didn't have to leave the house for it. We just had, I think, about one appointment for that. We had one telehealth appointment on August 4th, and then the hospital coordinator called me 3 days later, and then we just kind of got our admittance date and everything that would go down. There's another thing. We had another telehealth appointment. This was just a change in Doc's schedule per se. So August 8th, which is today, we had a telehealth appointment, which is just video call. We didn't have to leave the house, with her pulmonologist and transplant pulmonologist. We were going to talk about transitioning from Doc's vest time to a broken up vest time. So if you are curious, Doc uses a chest percussion HFCWO vest twice a day currently. Those happen at 7:45 a.m. and 7:30 p.m. That's always been her regimen for quite a while now. It's a 30-minute long big session. Today we talked about breaking it up into 3 20-minute sessions a day. I think Doc has a few screenshots before we changed her schedule, so here are her old vest times and how those coordinated. Now, today, we talked with her pulmonologist and transplant pulmonologist, and we kind of discussed about switching to maybe a not shorter vest time. She'll still have 1 hour accumulated on the vest an hour a day, but instead of 2 big 30-minute sessions, she'll have 3 20-minute sessions a day. So that's basically disrupting her vest time by breaking it up into 3 sessions, 20 minutes, 3 times daily. Those times are going to be 7:45 a.m., 12 p.m., and 8 p.m. And it is a little bit changed from her old vest schedule simply due to the fact that she's getting a GJ tube soon. It's kind of hard to explain. She usually has her first bolus feed around 1 p.m. Because she's switching to GJ tube soon on August 18th. We didn't want her to be on the new vest schedule and still have to be connected to her GJ feeding tube, which, if you don't know, cannot be bolused because the ileum or the jejunum cannot hold that much volume of formula over a bolus feed. So we have to do it over to our pump rate. The feeding pump connects to her GJ tube on August 18th, of course, and it'll go over to our feeding. So yes, the feeding times in her schedule are still implemented and still at the exact same time, but they're not bolus anymore. So they have to run at a 2-hour rate. Doc's afternoon to evening feed is 1 p.m., which is currently still and will be bolus until August 18th. But August 18th and forward, it'll have to be 2 hours long, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And the original time of the vest that we were sort of discussing was 1:30 p.m., but we realized that she'll still have an hour and a half of her feeding pump left. It's kind of hard to explain. Initially, during the telehealth appointment, we were thinking of doing her vest at 1:30 and it ending at 1:50 because it's a 20-minute vest session, but because we now discussed of the fact that she's getting a GJ tube on that video call, we worked some things out and figured out that the new time would be best at 12 p.m. so that way she could be done with her vest by 12:20 p.m. and just start her feed 40 minutes later. It's kind of hard to tell everything, but basically August 3rd, we called her GI coordinator and nurses to talk about switching/requesting to a GJ feeding tube. August 4th, we had the telehealth appointment with her GI doctor, and thankfully it got approved, and the official timeline for her getting the GJ peg tube is August 18th. August 8th, we had the telehealth appointment, or another one, with her pulmonologist and transplant pulmonologist to coordinate 3 vest sessions a day instead of just 2 big 30-minute vest sessions a day. Thankfully that worked, and we got it to concluded times that would work with her upcoming GJ feeding tube. Whether it's there or not, it's going to conjugate with it and already be planned, so we don't have to change it again. As of today, she still has her 30-minute vest sessions, and she'll do her standard 7:30 p.m. vest session tonight, but tomorrow she'll be switching to 3 times daily because thankfully it was approved, and we can go ahead and do it tomorrow. 7:45 a.m. is her first one. .12 p.m. is her second vest session. And then 8 p.m. is her third one. It's just broken up to 3 vet sessions to make her more comfortable, not because she wasn't tolerating the 30-minute vet sessions, but she was still doing really well on them. But as her lung function gets weaker, her voluntary lung function, which is at 5% as of June 27th, they wanted to make her more comfortable and to make it not as overwhelming for Doc. That is her vest, and that's the thing that she does twice daily as of currently, but tomorrow she'll do it 3 times daily. That's basically the entire things that we wanted to talk about, but she also has upcoming surgery on Monday. So on Monday is her wrist surgery. It is basically her getting Botox across her forearm and her wrist. Let me see if I can zoom in. Because she has contractures in her wrist. Can I move your wrist? She's been having this wrist surgery. It used to be every 4 months, but now it's gone back to 6 months. So every 6 months she goes in for wrist surgery, as we call it. But it's just basically 5 Botox injections and stretching of her wrist, which is about 100 units of Botox that she gets. Around February, when she had her 12th wrist surgery, she was intubated and sedated. But now she's only getting like intravenous sedation, meaning in an IV. She's no longer being intubated, and so now she's just getting the light intravenous sedation this time. So she still has to go to OR, she still has to be admitted, and she still has to get the things, which would usually be an outpatient procedure. But she's basically getting wrist surgery August 10th. She'll be admitted for a night, and she'll get 5 times Botox across her forearm and her wrist. She'll get some stretching in the OR, be intravenously sedated lightly though. No more intubation, which hallelujah, yay. Her intravenous infusion that you usually see on the 26th is so damn late because she's not sick or anything and is not showing any sick symptoms. Thankfully, we can still do it at home, so we'll be doing it today. So yeah, her 15th intravenous infusion is very late, about 12 to 13 days delayed. Oh, and a lot more things are coming soon. We have a few more updates, but we won't discuss those yet. Those are kind of secretive, working on it. We've been filming for like 22 minutes now, so we do apologize that this took so long. Amy will try to consolidate everything. Basically, a lot has been happening, so to give the most basic rundown. August 3rd, we called GI to coordinate switching to a GJ peg feeding tube, discard the nasal feeding tube. August 4th, we actually had the telehealth appointment with the GI doctor to discuss about the GJ, to discuss about her schedule, to talk about her current regimen. And August 7th, the hospital coordinator called me, and we got officially the admission date for the GJ feeding tube, and that is August 18th. That is just a procedure. She is only going to IR. August 8th, we had another telehealth appointment with her pulmonologist and transplant pulmonologist to discuss about switching to 3 times vet sessions a day. Talked about her schedule and everything, gone over the big stuff. Thankfully, it is approved to start Sunday, which is really quick. The old vest times were 7:45 a.m. and 7:30 p.m., which is still currently today, but tomorrow she'll have 7:45 a.m., 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. vet sessions. Basically, she'll just do it 3 times a day, 20-minute sessions, and it'll accumulate to the hour that she's still on. And then August 10th, she'll have her 13th wrist surgery, 5 times Botox injections, go in the OR, be admitted for a night, and this time she won't be intubated. She'll just be intravenously sedated, which is good. So we have an upcoming procedure on the 18th, we have an upcoming surgery on the 10th, and we have a new damn vest schedule. We are having so much stuff lately, it's insane. So we appreciate you all for hearing this 25-minute update, and now we will transition to the infusion. Okay. Sure, I'll get it by. We appreciate you all so much for watching, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye. Dot gives a virtual bye-bye. She doesn't have a talker yet. Bye-bye.